Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here. Hope you guys are having a lovely, lovely evening so far and a good start to your week. It's been kind of a wild one over here, but like a wild one in a really fun way. So I am sort of running around like head on a swivel, head kind of halfway screwed on, halfway screwed off. And yeah, we're going to have some fun tonight. I didn't anticipate jumping in and talking any horror news this evening. I was going to jump on anyways and hang out with you guys about Mad Monster and show off some of the stuff and all that kind of good business. But last night I stayed up until 7 in the morning. So this morning I stayed up till 7 in the morning getting my Evil Dead Burn review all ready to go. It's a full spoiler review. I go through every scene in the movie. So if you've seen the movie, it's great. If you don't want to see the movie, but you want to know what happens and you want to know how you might hypothetically feel about it, my review will definitely work for that. And also, if you don't want the spoiler in the description, there's a link for the non-spoiler review. So you can still get all of my thoughts on everything, just more concise and not nearly as nitpicky. But I am the Evil Dead guy, so I figure it's okay if I'm picky. I was still fair about the stuff I liked. So anyways, check out that review if you haven't yet. This was a wild weekend hanging out at Mad Monster. It's always a blast. 3 years ago on Friday, on July 10th, 2023 is when I started the channel. It's when I first saw Dylan's New Nightmare. I didn't meet Cecil from the horror show that night, but I met Dave McCrae. He was in the makeup chair getting done up as Freddy and everything for the premiere. And it was just kind of wild thinking like, wow, 3 years ago, this is when like all of this started, friends I've made, relationships that have either come and gone or just recently developed or whatever. It's just wild to think about everything that's happened in the last few years. And it's always a pleasure to hang out at Mad Monster. You're going to make new friends, just within the community. You might even find that you kind of resonate with one of the people, one of the performers or creators that's there, which is really cool too. And it's always a blast. You put tons of steps on your, on your step counter. And if you're me, you don't sleep very much, but you have a damn good time. So, and it was cool being there. Like, I quit drinking a little over 11 months ago. So it's pretty cool to be there and not just be obliterated like every night. I was good about like during the day stuff, but oh my gosh, people, during the night, it just got crazy. Anywho, I'm going to catch you guys up on some of the Mad Monster stuff. We are going to jump into the Crystal Lake TV series. That teaser has just been released. I checked it out. It looks amazing. Sorry, I had a little burp that I wanted to keep from you guys. I checked it out. I think it looks really good. We're going to take a look at everything together. We're going to read about this A Nightmare on Elm Street news and see what we think that means. Right now, we don't have much. And really, neither one of those stories are big in and of themselves, but I think it's come on, the gravity of Friday the 13th news and A Nightmare on Elm Street news dropping in the same day. Even if it, just knowing that, hey, one of these things is about to be here, and now we finally have word on Elm Street. So we're going to chat about that as well. And then, we're going to honor Sam Neill. How about it? So we are going to take care of that. We're going to talk about our favorite performances, favorite movies, the things that could have been, all of that. I think he's was a terrifically gifted actor. So it's sad to lose, somebody that's so incredibly awesome at what they do. But we can celebrate the career. So we'll take care of that as well. Also, I've got a couple of these Fandango little giveaway codes for Evil Dead Burn. So you can use these for 2 tickets to Evil Dead Burn through the Fandango app. It only works for that movie. I'm going to do a little giveaway. I don't really know how I'm going to do the giveaway. I might be so for the people that throw out super chats, I might throw everyone that throws in a super chat, consider it kind of a raffle. You know what I mean? So even if you throw a $2 super chat, even though it's not part of the super chat goal for the bonus stream on the weekend, it will still count for these. So how about that? I'll make it easy. If you throw out any amount of super chat, you will get a raffle ticket here. And then I don't know, I'll get crazy. I'll say if you throw in $5, every $5 you throw in, you get an extra entry. How about that? And I'll do the drawing. I probably won't do it live. I'll probably just do it. I might record it and post it somewhere just for fun. But I'm not going to worry about trying to set that all up while we're on stream. But I will, I'll go through the whole thing and notify the winning parties. And the cool thing is, like, so these are good until I think it's the end of September. You're probably going to want to get on that though, because I don't know how long the movie is going to be in the theater. But I am going to be hosting an Evil Dead Burn live stream on Wednesday night for Late Night with the Davey. So I'm putting together a panel, people that have opinions all over the spectrum, as far as, you know, some people that really love it and, you know, love all the, you know, the new direction and everything like that. And then there's some people like me that, you know, really didn't like it at all. So if you're interested in joining that conversation, it's going to be full spoiler. So maybe if you win one of these tickets or whatever, you can go check out the movie, hop back on Wednesday night, join the conversation in the chat. Why the heck not? Should be pretty cool. And yeah, with that, guys, man, 7 minutes of me just spieling away, you know, the whole spiel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, all that good stuff. Hit the notification bell if you don't want to miss it when I, like, you know, plan a live stream a couple hours before, like I did today. I just got done doing a members only stream, and then we're going over and doing this one. So if you have the notification bell hit, you won't miss any of that stuff. If you're watching after the fact, thank you so very much. Still hit the like, hype the video if you like what we're doing here, and jump into the comments. Let me know your thoughts on this Crystal Lake TV show, your thoughts on, you know, A Nightmare on Elm Street. What's your favorite horror convention, or maybe a really cool story when you got to meet a celebrity, or, you know, somebody that's just an artist that you really appreciate. Or jump in and share your favorite Sam Neill memory. Okay, I'm going to jump in and say what's happening, or see what's happening with you guys and say what's up, and then we will get cooking on this whole thing. We got Lamontre Gillard hanging out. What's happening, Lamontre? We got Paula Fitzhenry. What's happening, Paula? Antonis Andriotis, one of our great channel members. How are you doing, Antonis? Thank you for joining us. We got Ryan West. Yeah, Ryan, it's been a while. I mean, it's been since Friday, and usually I go live once or twice on the weekend. Guys, I thought about going live last night just to surprise everyone. I was so beat. My voice, I don't know if you can tell, but my voice still hasn't quite recovered, although maybe it sounds extra sexy now. I don't know. But yeah, I had so much editing and everything to do. But I'm so happy to be back, Ryan. Second time today, and I'll be back on Wednesday. And hopefully I'll be back sometime this weekend, guys. I guess that just depends on what happens with that super chat goal. We got Jeff, a.k.a. Down Is Up, another one of our great channel members. Welcome on in. If I didn't say it, Ryan is one of our channel members as well. We got Midnight Vestige, another brand new channel member. Welcome back in there, Daniel. Hope you're doing well, man. Great to see you. Let's see what else we got going on. We've got Miss Tia Nina, one of our fantastic channel members. Hope you are doing well. Paula Fitzhenry dropping a $5, and she wants a watch party on the weekends. All right. You know, it's so funny. Like, you know, personal feelings aside, with watch parties, like, if it's what you guys want, I love it. I love it. Like, I love watching movies. It's a great excuse to watch a movie that I've seen many times before, but it's a good excuse to watch it again. Let's see who else we got here. Daniel dropping a $5. Thank you so very much, Daniel. Really appreciate you. Ooh, another stream. I'm in. Yeah, I do. I try to do like at least 3 a week, Daniel. And then, you know, depending on how things go with the super chat goals, like sometimes we get into 4 or 5. So, yeah. I think he's so close. Yeah, about 3 hours away. Yeah, so Daniel is somebody that I've seen at the horror cons in Phoenix, at least at Mad Monster. Gosh, probably every year I've been there. Because Daniel, we didn't officially meet until this year, but I recognized you because I was like, oh, I've seen this. Like, I've seen you, and I believe it's your father, you know, walking around before. So yeah, I mean, I got a little bit of a photographic memory, you know. So it was great to finally meet you, man. Daniel's working on a really cool, like, kind of like board game, card game, Magic the Gathering-ish, but horror themed. Really fun stuff. I'm not going to say too much because I haven't gotten his, you know, I want him to do his thing with it, or be able to, you know, talk about it in his own way, but I'm very excited about what he's got cooking up there. We got Gory Tiger. What's happening, Gory? Welcome on in. Hollywood Lito in the chat. What's happening, Lito? Hope you are doing well. We got Miss Shannon from Talking Star Wars. We got pictures for Mike Flanagan's Carrie 2. We did. Do we want to cover that? Is anyone interested in that? I don't know. I was only going to jump on and talk about Friday the 13th and A Nightmare on Elm Street. If you guys want to talk about Carrie, we can talk about Carrie as well. We do have, a handful of pictures from Entertainment Tonight. It's really tough to tell like how the show actually looks though, because they're just still images. So they look very bright and they don't look very cinematic. But wow, there are a lot of pictures of Carrie. They're like, I don't know, almost 20 images there on Bloody Disgusting. Holy cow. I don't know if we have time for that, Shannon. We'll see what we have time for. Let's jump back on over with you guys. Okay. Thank you so much for the $2, Shannon. I guess I need to cover it because you dropped the $2, right? We'll see how quick I can get through everything else and how tired my voice is. How about that? We got Rebel Sky dropping a $2. Says Dave. Davey saw your review. It was on point. 100%, dog. Oh wow, Rebel Sky. Thank you so very much. I couldn't tell when I was sitting there editing it. I was like, dude, it sounds like you really hate it. And I'm like, well, wait, at the beginning, I do say that I will editorialize and I'm going to be a little over the top. And yeah, I like that freedom to be able to be that way on the channel. It doesn't mean, just because I'm all like, blah, 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 freaking out about something, it doesn't mean like it's the most important thing to me that Evil Dead didn't get the Deadites looking right. You know what I mean? It's like, it is what it is. It's a movie. But I love that you're seeing what I'm seeing. I see a lot of people out there that are picking up on a lot of the issues with this movie. And yeah, there's some good things too. I'm going to try to be as nice as possible because Evil Dead's my favorite franchise, but thank you so much for the $2, Rebel Sky. Yeah, the VIP party, like I wanted to, or RIP is what they call it there. I wanted, like, I'm like, I need to go home and edit. And then I thought to myself, dude, you're out here all weekend, hang out at the, VIP after party or whatever, like rub some shoulders, just like live life, brother. Like I told myself on Saturday night, you could put out the video tomorrow if you stay up all night. And I'm like, dude, the video can come out on Monday. Come on. What are we doing? Carrie, I don't know. Somebody want to check that out on Google? I would just Google it. Let's see here. It's not fake, Antonis. It's not fake. Jurassic Park is my favorite movie, says Ty Lee. Hell yeah. For the bonus Jonas stream. What do you want to watch, like a Jonas Brothers movie or something like that, Tia? Thank you so much for the $5. I guess that's the thing is we just, if we reach that goal, we'll just decide what you guys want to do. We're really not far from reaching it as is. 110 days till Halloween. What's happening, Smiths Grove? Great to see ya. News that's been blasting away for both of these two franchises. I'm going to be doing my reaction. There we go. Fantastic Oracle is going to be doing a reaction tomorrow. We got Ron, Mr. Theron the Brutal. Hope you're doing well, Ron. Always a pleasure to see you. Thank you so much for being a channel member. Guys, Ron is a national treasure. 50 days till spooky season. That's right. I know. Am I weird for not thinking it's a big deal? Is it because it's Flanagan? I mean, we can talk about it a little bit. I don't know how excited to get about. No offense, it's another Mike Flanagan TV show, and let's see here, 8-episode limited series. I'm not seeing a date yet. Prime Video this fall. Okay, so it'll be spooky season. Yeah. I mean, we can take a look at it, guys. I'm not saying we can't. But I mean, compared to Friday the 13th and like A Nightmare on Elm Street, I guess Carrie's okay. I guess it's okay. We got Izzy Boo. What's happening, Izzy? Welcome on in. Hope you are doing well. We got Slasher Fred kicking it with us. What's happening, Slasher Fred? Wayne Gotke. What's happening? Wayne, welcome on in, man. Always great to see you. And Wayne's more excited about the Elm Street news. All right. I mean, that makes sense. It's been a while since we've heard anything official from Elm Street. So I totally get it. Like I put that poll in the chat, guys, if you it's a coin flip, which one are you more excited for as far as the news goes? Friday the 13th or Elm Street? What's happening, Ryan? Thank you so much for jumping on in. One of our great channel members there. All is going very, very well, Mr. Piss Stofferson. Hope you're having a great one as well. We've got Mr. Aaron, Super Tenor. What's happening, Super Tenor? Welcome on in. Holy cow, the barn is flooding, so I get to watch you from the high chairs while it pours over here. God, that's just like an hour and a half away across the valley. Oh, it is ominous as fuck. I know you guys can't tell out of my window, but it is like that gray yellow out there as the sun is setting. Yeah, super stormy in the Phoenix area, but no rain out here in the West Valley. I hope everything's going okay. I'm happy to hear that you didn't have to outright cancel. I guess hopefully it'll subside and you guys can still get your line dancing on. It's impressive, guys. Those events, I don't understand dancing of any kind, really. I don't. It's very tough for me to fathom it or why it exists. I guess expressing yourself or something like that. I think that's what it is. I'm just being silly about it. I'm terrible. I think that's what it is I can't understand it and I'm terrible. Those two things go hand in hand. But it is very impressive and really fun just to watch people get together and have a good time in a big old room with one another and and just interact with each other. I love it. I love it for them. Rimbound, what's happening? Rimbound says, I want to be optimistic about the Crystal Lake trailer because it looks fun, but the Friday, May 13th date on the calendar distracted me. May 13th. Gotcha. Oh, that's where they're setting it, is May 13th. Yeah, interesting. That's an interesting date. That would distract me as well. I'm excited for the Crystal Lake show. Yeah. I'm just getting wind out here. Actually, no, we're like in the eye of the storm. Okay, I think I've said hello to everybody. I didn't even really say hello. Hi, Ashley. Hi, sweetheart. Hope you're doing well. All right, there we go. Who else do we have here? Talking Star Wars, dropping a $5 Canadian. Matthew Lillard is in Carrie as well. So it's an added bonus. All right, well, I guess if Lillard's in there, we got to talk about it. Suppose I'm a weirdo for just not thinking Carrie's that big of a deal. I mean, it's just, one book, right? What are we falling all over ourselves for Carrie? I'm just fucking with you. We got Dylan saying, how dumb was that end credit scene? It really made no sense. They should have teased Wrath instead. I actually think it's one of the best scenes in the whole movie. Like, no joke. I was happy to see a Deadite that looked like a Deadite because it was an hour and 51 minutes of an Evil Dead movie where none of the Deadites looked like Deadites. So I thought it was cool. And I'm not going to talk about Burn too much, but to me, it makes Rise look like a classic Evil Dead movie. To me, it raised the way I feel about all of the other ones because they were able to execute. And I feel like Evil Dead Burn was, by and large, a colossal disappointment. Okay, I'm all caught up on everything. Guys, let's get into Mad Monster. I just want to talk to you about all of that. So the Mad Monster Roundup, I kind of got into it a little bit. I just wanted to show off stuff because I don't know if everyone here does the social media thing outside of YouTube. If you do and you want to follow me there, I've got like Instagram and all that kind of stuff. So, if you guys are on my Insta, you've seen these pictures. If not, then you haven't. So let's take a look. I'm going to add this one to the stage. It's very difficult to see right there, but boom, look at that. We got myself and Mr. Tom Matthews, aka Tommy Jarvis from Friday the 13th, Jason Lives. Of course, he's in the Never Hike Alone series as well. I mean, Return of the Living Dead. I believe he plays a character named Freddy in Return of the Living Dead, which is another classic. And I've always just loved Tom's, sincerity in his performances. It was really cool just to, meet him and thank him for everything. And he was super nice. He actually, on the way into the convention, I was like just sitting at the horror show table or, standing there, saying hi to everyone and waving. He walks by. I had never met him before or anything, but he walked up and like gave me the fist bump. And I was just like, oh my God, Tom Matthews gave me a fist bump unsolicited. I didn't even say his name or anything. I think I did like the nod, like the, hey man, welcome to the con. Cause it was before like the floor opened up and everything like that. He was super nice. He was like, hey, have you checked out Never Hike Alone? And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, I've actually been able to like, develop a little bit of a friendship with Vin from doing, YouTube stuff. And, was able to tell him that, yeah, I've connected my brother and Vin, and my brother did some shots on, Never Hike Alone too. And it was just really cool to get to chill with him. And, I having never met him before, and he plays Tommy in my favorite Friday the 13th movie. It was pretty awesome to get to chat with him. He was super cool. And then, of course, from there, and you can see in the picture there, I got my mask signed. You'll see a full-fledged picture of the mask later. But from there, I went and met CJ Graham, who plays Jason for the most part. There's another actor that played Jason, and Jason lives for a little bit, but CJ's the one that's there, bulk of the time. And it's funny, look at this. He and Tom both they're giving me the hang loose, or giving you guys the hang loose, I guess, or maybe all of us the hang loose. CJ was hilarious. Like, I walked up and he's like, that'll be so-and-so American dollars, or you can pay in ammo. I accept 9mm hollow point. And I start like chuckling, and he's like, I mean it, man. I'm from Montana. He's like, I'm a red-blooded American. I'm like, dude, I get it. I'm a firearm owner myself, CJ. He was super friendly, super fun. And what I love about meeting these guys is sometimes they will just like kind of, they pick up on some little thing you say and they launch into a story. And man, like, if there's one thing about actors or any creatives that work like, in film or anything like that, imagine all the little stories and all the little things that happen when you're on set, throughout an entire career, and they can just pull these little rabbits out of any hat, based on, whatever you say when you walk up to him. So super cool to meet CJ. He was very friendly. I mean, I didn't meet anyone this year that wasn't friendly. I like to accentuate it, I guess. Speaking of friendly, good God, Derek Mears I will say this, Derek, if you're watching, how gracious Derek was with his time really impressed me, because he had quite a bit of a line on Friday night. I went at like the end of Friday night, because I knew Saturday was going to be a nightmare, for all the bigger folks and everything like that. So Derek was sitting there taking a good 5 to 10 minutes with each like person or group, just depending on like, what was going on in the conversation. But you could tell he was there to actually make a connection and have that moment. And it wasn't like you say 3 sentences, they say 2 sentences back. Like, I got an awesome story from Derek, because I told him, talking to him about Friday the 13th, 2009, of course, and, the way they light him when he's on the roof, and how I love that shot when he stabs like the sheriff with the poker through the door, and the camera swings around. It's like the wall isn't even there. It's this really cool floating camera trick. And so he told me this really awesome story about, Marcus Nispel wanting him to like deliver the stunt in a way that was super uncomfortable, but it's like, whatever gets the job done, because pain is, what did he say? Pain is temporary, film is for life, is what he kept on saying when we were talking. But just super gracious, really friendly guy. If you know anything about Derek Mears, he's a big fan like we are as well. And you can definitely tell that in the way that he, interacts with people. He shows a lot of love. So, and man, 6'9" or 6'5", 240. Holy shit. Dude is huge. I'm 6 feet tall, and I look so tiny next to these people. So there's the updated mask. It's difficult to see every single signature, but I've got 9 signatures on there. So I have Adrian King, Amy Steele, Ron Sloan, Kane Hodder, CJ Graham, Derek Mears, Tom Matthews, Ken Kersinger, and Vincent DeSanti. I believe that's everyone that I've got on there. So a pretty awesome array of signatures. And I mean, I told Tom and I told CJ, I was like, I was never the kind of person that would get like a piece of memorabilia signed, but I won this mask, or I got this mask in the divorce. My ex got the Scream mask, I got the Jason mask, and I was like, man, it just seems like I should do something with it. So this isn't something I'm, ever plan on selling or whatever. This is just something that I want to have and look at and be like, wow, I have this Jason mask covered in signatures from people in the franchise. So yeah, there's that. What other news do we have? What about this? Because to me, this looks like a lot of love too. Damien Maffei is one of the funniest people I've ever met. Like the guy could like just do stand up without any preparation, seemingly. And it's a gift that some of these East Coast folks have, right? Where it's just like, oh my gosh, like always on, charming, hilarious. I call him East Coast nice, which means he gives shit to everyone, but in the most lovely way. And yeah, it was cool, to finally meet him, because he was on the channel about 1.5 years ago. We became kind of social media buddies and stuff. And yeah, it was awesome walking up, and he was just like, hey man, you're a lot taller than I thought you'd be. And I'm like, yeah, you too, man. And Damien Maffei, this is the thing. He'll walk up, if you're talking to anyone, He'll walk up to any group or any whoever. Every time he walked up to me, I was mid conversation. He'd look at the other person or look at me and point and be like, "You know this guy?" That's the Damien Maffei thing. You know this guy? So I just started doing that. Anytime I saw him talking to somebody, I just walked up and rudely interrupted and was like, "You know this guy?" Yeah, what a great guy. Super hilarious. Can't wait to have him on the channel again. So we discussed a fun topic. I won't tell you guys what it is now, but I think we've got a great topic for him, considering how much of a fan he is. And actually, let me show you. I got this cool thing signed. I'm actually going to go back on over here. So this is a custom digital drawing that his friend Jose did, who you know, was only doing like you know, traditional illustrations. But I guess Damien kind of convinced him to go into the digital route. So he drew this Strangers Prey at Night, which is kind of like an homage to Jason Takes Manhattan. And yeah, there's Damien's awesome signature there. I love I know this guy. And then I'm that guy. I'm that guy. Yeah. So beautiful little piece there. I'll have to get that in some glass. And let me see, what else are we doing here? Really, the only other picture I have, guys, this was amazing. I got to meet Sid Haig's kids, Tate and Phaedra. They were so sweet. I believe Tate was probably walking around most of the time, but Phaedra was hanging out. You know, she had previously made friends with people in the you know, the group that I sort of roll with. So when I met Tate and Phaedra, I think Ashley introduced them to me, and all I got was first names. I had no idea. I was just like, I thought they were local friends that Ashley was introducing me to, and so I was just like doing my regular Davey Deathray thing and poking and prodding them for information on what kind of movies they liked. And then later on, I was, you know, Ashley told, or somebody told me, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like now I have to talk to them about their dad's illustrious career. But they're very sweet. Tate and Phaedra, awesome people. Can't wait to hang out with them again. And yeah, I mean, that's con life. You know, you bump into people that you know, and you make some new friends while you're there. And every time you go, it snowballs into this like better experience that it sometimes can be overwhelming, but in a way that like, it doesn't feel like it's too much, if that's possible, for something to be overwhelming but still manageable. That's what I would say, is that's the kind of feeling that I get from you know, from something like Mad Monster. So there is my Mad Monster roundup, as it were, there. And I do have a couple other things to show off though. Well, I'll show you guys the actual mask. How about that? There you go. So you could see like Ron Sloan. Let's see here. Yeah, there's Ron Sloan, Ken Kersinger. There's, you know, Kane Hodder and Derek Mears on the one side. CJ Graham right there in the middle. Then we got, let's see, I want to get that glare off. We've got Vincent DeSanti there. We've got Tom Matthews and, of course, Adrian King as well. So, yeah, pretty dope on the mask. Nothing on the inside. At some point, I'll probably have to go there. Let's see how many more we can get on the outside. Somebody with a short name can be like right there. You know, like Miguel Nunez Jr. is going to have to like be over here or something, or on the inside. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, Miguel. Don't worry. And then I got a couple hats. So I got this Jaws hat, because I don't know if you guys knew this, but I really like Jaws. And that, guys, is my Mad Monster wrap up. How about it? How about it? Let me jump back in, because I just like blah, blah, blah forever. I'm going to jump on in and say what's up to you guys and see what you guys are saying about my, you know, ridiculous Mad Monster adventures. All right. Where are we at here? Where are we at? Really enjoyed the end credit clip. Yeah. And I liked the mid credit one as well, because I was like, man, that's Grandma at the end of that movie was one of the best looking Deadites, I thought, in the whole thing. Yeah, I hope you enjoy. I hope everyone enjoys the movie. You know, like I really do. The fact that I didn't enjoy it is so inconsequential. I've always loved Tom's voice. Isn't there something about, there is a sweetness and a sincerity there, right? There is like when in Jason Lives, when he's like, you know, pleading, and but he's pleading because he's like, I know I caused this. He wants to fix it so bad, and like I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it, because it's like, as a performer, he really does get that across in such a perfectly calculated way. I don't like, there's just something about it. Not everyone's carved out for that kind of work, obviously. And it's really cool. The people that, people like Tom that have had that impact on this genre. And they've also got, there is something so specific that like I can point to is like when I watch other actors and performers, Tom Matthews and his sincerity and that believability is something that I hold other people to. Let's see what else we got. Let's Eddie Munson that super chat goal. Yeah. 2A all the way. You know what's up. You know what's up to you. Derek looks like a beast, white hair and all the yeah. And he can really rock some shit. He is bald. Yeah. Maybe it would be white if he grew it out though. Yeah, I know. He still looks like he could play Jason. I'll tell you that for sure. What's happening, Matthew? Welcome on in. He was Jason. I don't think he was never Leatherface. I don't believe. But he played a Predator in Predators. He's played Swamp Thing. He was in Alita Battle Angel. He's been in a whole bunch of stuff. He's in the Ted TV show. He plays the devil, like a big monster version of the devil. Yeah, Derek has done so much. He's still, I'm not 5'11". I love that Tia wants to say that. Did you like get into my records and you're like, no, he's this many inches tall? Well, but should I get Robert to sign? Because Robert hasn't been in a Friday the 13th movie, has he? What do you guys consider Freddy versus Jason? I mean, I know it's technically both. To me, it feels way more like a Nightmare on Elm Street film, with Jason in there as a plot device. That's how it feels like to me. Ooh, flashback weekend. Yeah, man, the cons are really, really fun. What I love about Mad Monsters, it's like relatively affordable. You're not going to get like the fan fusions and all that kind of stuff. They're going to get like stars that go even beyond horror and everything. But man, they can just be really spendy. Planning on meeting Jared Padalecki. There you go. What's happening, Adrian? Welcome on in, man. Yeah, I really like Jared Padalecki in the remake. It's a good day to be a Fredhead. That's right, Des. That is right. We are going to get to all of that, aren't we? Just making sure I'm not missing anyone. Just saying hello. What's up, Mr. Like It or Not? How's it going, man? Great to see you. Have you seen Evil Dead Burn yet? I'm very, very curious. It is a lot of hair. Yeah. Ashley with the good hair. You don't know. Hey, you know what? That shows that my sarcasm is working. Rick B. Jaman. Welcome on in, Rick B. Jaman. Yes, love to the mods. Okay. All right, guys. Let's jump on into some news. Okay. He did find the nipple. Yeah, Damien, I just wanted a picture with him. He immediately hand on chest and he's like, where's your nipple? And I'm like, yep, you found it. I've got some outtake pics too, where he put on the stranger's mask and he did like regular height Damien. And then he did Kane Hodder height and he like just crouched down. It was pretty funny. All right, guys, let's jump. Jamie, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to skip over any of your comments. Oh yes. Big head, big brain. She does have a big brain. No, Ashley is really, really smart. She's way smarter than me. And I didn't mean to skip over any messages. I just know that I've got a few things I want to get to. So that's all, Jamie. So sometimes I'm just like skimming to make sure I'm not missing saying hello to somebody. So that's what it is. Goal finish. Shannon from Talking Star Wars throwing down a $5 super chat. All right. So guys, we have 5 entries so far to our Evil Dead Burn giveaway. Now, keep in mind, each one of these has a code, and each one is good for 2 tickets. So I'm going to announce 2 different winners. If you want to be considered for the raffle, a super chat of any dollar amount gets you entered. Now, if you do 5 or more, you get basically $2 for every 5. So whatever. I just want to find a fun way to do the giveaway. Only good for Evil Dead Burn, but I mean, come on. If you could see the movie for free, definitely worth checking out for free and seeing for yourself how you feel about it. All right. Let's see here. I'm making sure there aren't any Jamie chats that I'm missing out on. Jamie, I love you so much. You know that I do. You know I do, Jamie. Antonis dropping another $5 super chat. He wants in on that raffle for the Evil Dead Burn tickets. Hell yeah, Antonis. Thank you so very much. Guys, let's jump on over to our Crystal Lake teaser and new images. Yes, we've got them. I'm actually going to pull the images up here. Do you guys want to watch the trailer? Have you seen the trailer? Should we watch it in slow-mo? Should I just like freeze frame it and then we kind of check it out from there? Like, what do you guys think on the teaser trailer? I'm very, very curious to know what you all have to say about that. Let me see here. I'm going to get that ready to go just in case. Okay. Well, what I'll do is I'll let you guys do your thing and we can hop on over here and cover the story in the meantime. How about that? I'm just getting everything situated. Antonis, thank you so very much again, man. Really do appreciate you. Thanks, but can you pass me on the giveaway as I'm catching up on Evil? Well, you're definitely going to get entered, right? You dropped in a super chat, so you'll get an entry for sure. For sure. Let's see here. Give it to someone else if I win. All right. So if Shannon wins and Daniel doesn't, I'll give it to Daniel. How about that? You guys want to watch the trailer? Okay, excellent. We're going to do a little talky talk and then we'll do a little watchy watch after that. How about that? Okay, let me bring it on over there and do that. Boom. Guys, holy cow. We're finally here. Today is an awesome day for Friday the 13th fans and a Nightmare on Elm Street fans, but we're going to start off with this Crystal Lake TV show news because we got a first look at the teaser and we've got some images that reveal the origins of Jason Voorhees' mother, Pamela. Now, guys, I've been looking forward to this whole thing for quite a while. You know, the starting and stopping and false starts of Crystal Lake were a bit of a bummer. If you've been around the channel for a little bit, you know that I've had some fun with them. But once we started to see the production design, the behind the scenes photos, and then we found out that, you know, I mean, we knew Brad Caleb Kane was coming over from Welcome to Derry. But for me, once I saw Welcome to Derry last fall, I was like, oh my God, this show's really good. And then combining that with what we were seeing from Crystal Lake, I'm like, man, Brad Caleb Kane really knows what he's doing. The whole crew and everyone involved in Crystal Lake seems to, you know what they're doing. And I'm super pumped with what we've got here coming out October 15th. So let's check out this article from Megan Navarro over at Bloody Disgusting. Pamela Voorhees gets the spotlight in Friday the 13th prequel series Crystal Lake, and Entertainment Weekly has unveiled first look images and a teaser that introduce the slasher's legend's origins. All episodes of Crystal Lake premiere Thursday, October 15th, only on Peacock. The series, quote, begins with the circumstances around that drowning and follows from there Pam's descent into madness. Brad Caleb Kane is the showrunner for the series and describes the series to Entertainment Weekly as, quote, a mixtape of genre. He continues to say, everybody in this world is living in a different genre in their mind until they collide with the genre that Pam is in. And he clarifies that it's 100% still a slasher. What's more, the series is set in the 70s. And Linda Cardellini starring as Pamela Voorhees, a mother who gave up a singing career to raise her special needs child, only to take a dark turn when she loses her son, Jason. Callum Vinson from the Chucky TV show is playing young Jason, and young Jason. I'll do that again just for fun, just for posterity, guys. Callum Vinson from Chucky is playing young Jason in Crystal Lake, which will tell the origin story of the mass slasher who has stalked the grounds of Crystal Lake for decades. So we've got other folks here in the cast and all that. I won't read through everyone's name, but it will be the first official Friday the 13th project since the Platinum Dunes remake back in 2009. So let's check out this trailer, maybe even check it out in slow-mo after. I'm going to put a pause on the music and then we will get that cooking. So let's cut that music. There we go. I like that. I like that. All right, here we go. I'm going to make it full screen there. Does it look good for you guys? Is it big enough for you? Okay. Where is the friggin' volume here? I'm worried that it's going to blast us into oblivion. Okay. It might, hopefully it's not too quiet, guys. I don't want it to be too loud. And then also, like, if I, do any talking at any point, I don't want my vocal to be buried. So here we go, guys. The official teaser for Crystal Lake from Peacock and A24.
It's like someone put a curse on this town. It all started when that kid drowned last summer. There's something in these woods, and all it knows how to do is kill.
Mommy's here. Camp Crystal Lake, oh, we love you.
Oh, hey, I'm muted. How about that? Yeah, I muted myself because I didn't want any noise to ruin the teaser experience for you guys. Okay, so let's rewatch it half speed. I'm gonna mute everything because it just sounds kind of strange when it's not muted, and I'm no longer muted, so that's cool. But yeah, let's go ahead and watch this again in super slow-mo. Love the look of the camp already. This is very, they say it takes place in the 70s. I'm just, because I wasn't alive, I was born in the early 80s. So it's one of those things where it's like, 70s, 80s, pretty similar. But this really does have I love like the color grading on everything. I'm digging that. The costuming's really good. Like these kids absolutely look like camp kids from the 70s, 80s. We've got somebody with black hair that is, dead. I don't know who that would be because I don't know if we see any black-haired characters. So we'll see. Pamela not doing so hot, seemingly after Jason has passed away. And she's rocking her sweater, y'all. Speaking of the Pamela Voorhees sweater, did anyone notice in Evil Dead Burn that the little girl in the post-credit scene is wearing the Pamela Voorhees sweater? Am I the only one? I love this, the telling the story. It all started with that kid. So, who knows if these kids it's like late 70s and we kind of flash back to early 70s or what. But I love a good campfire story in a Friday the 13th film. That look right there. I mean, that looks like a studio right there, that lake. But the shot of her underwater looks really good. I love the shot of approaching the car. Like this whole thing has got very, this frame right here is very like It Follows, the car. They look sweaty and gross and very 70s. Now this right here, I think this is what's her name from the beginning of the first movie, the new cook, because that looks like exactly the same, like very similar pattern and color on the plaid shirt. So this makes me think that maybe in the original movie, there's like an idea that like there were some killings and then there's this big break and no one ever caught the killer. And then when they open up the camp, the killing happens again. But I don't know, like in the show, it might be like one kind of seamless timeline, where Pamela snaps and then it's just one event, right? And she dies at the end of that event instead of, killing a couple people and then, nothing happening, like nothing happening with the crime. You know what I mean? They would have to explain that. So anyways, but I believe that's the character from the beginning of the first movie. At least it's an homage to that character with that shirt on. That looks very like Claudette here, so this is very much like Claudette getting killed at the beginning of the first movie. And we know that Barry and Claudette have been cast in the show. So this could be a retelling of that scene, the very first scene in the first film. The legend begins, yes. And there we go. Man, this is interesting right here. What is that her? Okay, so she is wearing like all black there. Okay. So that's her grabbing up. That is a straight up machete. So no doubt about that. And yeah, she's ready to go. Oh yeah, it is Friday, May 13th. Wait a minute. Yeah, but he's June 13th. Huh. Yeah, what's that all about? This is a really interesting shot here. Just kind of strange looking. Anyways, yeah, what? No, it's June 13th. Oh, I gotta find that frame. There we go. Oh man. She's covered in blood. Her face is covered in blood. What is she wearing? Some sort of flowery dress? All right, there it is. Only on Peacock. Yeah, guys, I don't know. What do you got for the Crystal Lake TV show? Let's take a look at some of these still images. All right. Let me go over here. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. There we are. So yeah, there we've got the classic Crystal Lake sign. It looks so well weathered. Again, the production design was done so well here because this was all created brand new for the show, but it looks so authentic and old, you know? Love that shot there. Really sweet shot of Pamela here working the chow line. She looks so cute in her little uniform. Yeah, look at her. Look at old Linda Cardellini there. This is a pretty dope shot with the fog. We got like fog on the lake, but also some like haze up in the air. This is, man, if you told me this was like a behind the scenes picture from like Bay of Blood or some old Hammer film, like this really does have that look. The hairstyle, the clothing, like awesome costume here. All the costumes have been really cool that I've seen in the behind the scenes stuff. And then just the way that the image is processed. It just looks very warm, and you know, it doesn't look like a picture that was like pulled out of a box from the 70s, but it looks it's got the atmosphere. And I think that's like the biggest thing about this teaser trailer that I really enjoy. There's Pamela all covered in blood, blue sweater all covered in blood. So this is probably in the same time that we see that image that we had seen previously of her holding the knife with the hand covered in blood as well. So this might be after she snaps for the first time. I don't know. I'm so curious to see how this all plays out. And I'll leave that image there up of Pamela as we talk, because I've said it before, but you know, now that we have the trailer and we know the show's all dropping on October 15th, every single episode's dropping that same day. Let's just have a little chat. I'm super pumped for this because I love the idea of rebuilding this foundation for the franchise. You know, Pamela is such a huge part of Jason's just, you know, persona, I guess. He's just the mystique and everything like that. But we just know so little about her because, you know, the first movie, it's not like they knew it was going to turn into this big thing. I mean, the first movie, we say this all the time. They called a whodunit, but there's nothing there for us to even guess who did what, because we don't even know that character until we meet her basically as the killer, like right before the reveal, you know? So we have this really cool opportunity as fans to experience a brand new beginning for this franchise that still sticks true to the original intent, right? But just gives us more of that story. Like, why not understand more of Pamela? It helps us understand Jason a little bit better too. You know what I mean? And understanding Pamela and just having that beacon, it offers just something a little bit more than the whole like, oh, it was their relative that started this or whatever. Like, it just gives us way more meat on the bone, and to experience the psychological torment that Pamela goes through. The audience should experience that because she's so deeply disturbed by the end of the first movie. You know, it's like split personality and everything like that. It's like, I would like to know kind of where that came from. You know, she is sympathetic in a certain way. And I guess Jason, you know, to a lesser degree, at least, you know, zombie Jason to a lesser degree. But I think if the audience can resonate a little bit more with Pamela, we can understand where she's coming from. Then we can appreciate her character more. And yeah, when we get to Jason, it can just be all the slashing and stabbing and boobs and all that stuff. And that's totally fine. But I think it's really cool to start him out from a foundation that's just a lot more solid than what we got originally. So I'm really excited for it. As far as you know, all the episodes dropping on the 15th. I understand why they do that. They want us to be able to binge it. However, I'll say this on a couple different fronts. Number one, from a content creator standpoint, it's kind of rough because it's like, oh shoot, now I have to just like watch this as soon as I can, try to figure out how I feel about it, like the right way, you know, like where my opinions lie and all that kind of stuff. Cause you want, like, I want to cover it. Right. And then at the same time, it's just, you know, it's this mad dash to do that because everyone's going to be getting their opinions out, you know, as soon as they can. Some people will probably be able to watch it early. Fair enough, you know. And then on the other hand, just as being like an audience member, taking out all of the content creation stuff. Last year when they did Welcome to Derry and they separated them by a week, Alien Earth did the same thing. I just didn't like that show as much. But with Welcome to Derry, it was really cool. There was time to breathe in between episodes. You know, content creation stuff, you could cover each episode, you know, by itself. And then just as an audience member, it was cool to like wait in anticipation and be excited for the next episode and have something to look forward to. Even with Stranger Things season 5, I didn't like season 5, but the way they broke up the episodes, they built up all this tension and everything. And I thought that was cool. So I don't know, with Friday the 13th, maybe they just want to get it out there because they know that we're so damn hungry. And they probably want us to be able to consume it all before Halloween. So, you know, before they announced that they were going to drop all at the same time, I was like, why start in the middle of October? And then what? The show ends like middle of November. So it makes more sense as far as the date that they picked that they would drop them all. So, I mean, the only other way around it would be to start the show like when camp would end, like beginning of September, you know, and you do the show that way once a week. But I'm not going to like really, to me, it doesn't matter too much. I'm curious to know what you guys think, if you guys would prefer, you know, just dumping all the episodes, or if you guys like that anticipation and the time in between, like a traditional TV show used to be. I don't know. But I think that's all I've got as far as everything with Crystal Lake goes. I'm very enthused with the show. Again, I think it looks great. I dig where they're going with the plot. At least like the concept sounds really good to me. So it's all about execution, and everything we can see from this teaser here. Great atmosphere. Love the color grading. I love the vibe that they're capturing. And it looks fantastic. It looks warm. It looks like it belongs in Friday the 13th. And I think for all of us Friday the 13th fans, like, that's a big sigh of relief just to see something like this that doesn't look too slick or overproduced or anything like that. And hey, I'm not the only one. I saw that Vincent DeSanti himself is looking forward to it. And I know that Vin is a tough guy to please, and rightly so, because he knows this franchise so well. So if he and I can be on the same page about how good this looks, then that just makes me happy for Friday the 13th fans everywhere, because I think this is something that like more than 90% of Friday the 13th fans are going to love. You know what I mean? Or at least give it the full chance. You know, I think we're at the point now where we can definitely invest the time in watching this show. And I think it's looking pretty damn good. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. So if you're watching live, let me know in the live chat. If you're watching after the fact, jump on into the comments. Give me your thoughts down there. And I'll see you next time around. All right, guys, let's jump on over. You have so much to say. You all have so much to say. I totally get it. I totally get it. Okay. Let me have a sip of water here because I need it. Let's see. Oh my goodness, I see a super chat that I missed. Crime Scene's hanging out. I see Scareticulous is hanging out as well. Okay, let me check up on everyone here. Definitely wouldn't mind a scene breakdown. I'm gonna do, guys, I'll do a pre-recorded breakdown, I think, of that Crystal Lake trailer. So, you know, I just want to put something out there to cover it other than the live stream. I've got my own stream on Wednesday. I stream every Wednesday at like 10 p.m. Eastern. I've been doing that for a couple years now. I mean, there are rare occasions where I miss, but yeah, unfortunately, I'm doing an Evil Dead burn stream that night. Yeah. Welcome on in, Kyle, one of our great channel members. Yeah, we are going to talk about Sam Neill later on here tonight. Have a great night, Jamie. We will see you next time around. Thank you so much for hanging out. I trust A24, but I'm not too excited. Looks like a rehash of everything we already know. Freddy news is much more. Well, have you read it though? We're gonna get into that next because I'm very curious to see how excited people are once we really dive in. Ryan West dropping a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Ryan. Says, just helping Davey recover some money from the convention. Thank you so much, man. End credit to Burn makes no sense. Do you think any characters will we know will be in Wrath? Yeah, I think some of the I think the grandfather from Evil Dead Burn that we don't see but we hear about, I think he'll be in Wrath. I wouldn't be surprised if Nobi, if Professor Raymond Nobi is in there as well. What I want to see from Evil Dead Wrath is a group of men hunting demons. That's what I want to see. Specifically, a group of men hunting demons. Like, I think we need something different in the franchise, and I think that's where we need to go with it. It's time for something that's wholly different and really cool, and something that would set up the first movie, essentially. Thank you so much for the $5, Ryan. Really do appreciate you. And I mean, it makes no sense. It's like, I mean, I can't dissect Evil Dead Burn, all of it right now, but you know, the end credit sequence, it makes just as much sense as other stuff has happened in the franchise before that makes little sense too. I mean, Evil Ash coming back in Army of Darkness doesn't make any sense. What, just because Ash doesn't say the right words? He already dismembered Evil Ash, but he doesn't say the right words, so Evil Ash comes back to life. Or how about Mia? She's a demon, she gets buried, she dies, and what, she just digs herself up out of the hole? Like, her heart stopped. Mia was dead and just came back to life. You know, all the body damage from demon Mia went away and real Mia woke up. So what we see at the end credit sequence, I don't want to get too specific about it because the movie just came out, but what we see in that post credit sequence, not the mid credit sequence, I mean, you can say it makes no sense, but really, like, stuff like that's already happened in the franchise. Yeah. Oh, no, I got you. Okay, gotcha. I thought you were like, I'll catch up on the Evil Dead so I can watch this one. Wesley jumping in. What's happening, Wesley? He says, so excited for A Nightmare on Elm Street. I need Parker Finn or Zach Krueger. Ooh, Krueger. I like Parker Finn. I do like that for Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't know about Zach Krueger. I think he's too goofy for A Nightmare on Elm Street, for sure. Yeah, I think he's too weird for that one. I'm thinking, so I like Parker Finn. That's a really cool suggestion. I also really like Damian McCarthy. I mean, I want Damian McCarthy to like keep on making his own movies, but he writes and directs. He uses folklore. He really knows how to like build a spooky lore. And I think he could do something really good with Freddy Krueger, for sure. Yeah, I hope it there's an element in the lore that they talk about in the new movie, and I hope we get to see that. What's happening, Enigma Severus? Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, Scratch. I know, I figured it out after talking for what, 20 seconds? If it's not about that, then they're wasting their time, you know? I don't think it's traditionally a Christian camp, but a lot of camps back then, you would sing certain songs that were kind of churchy, but vaguely, you know what I mean? Vaguely so. Early 80s. Definitely not a flex. It's just a matter of fact, you know? Well, and I don't know if this version of Jason was born. Yeah, this version of Jason wasn't born in 1946. So yeah, they're changing the whole thing to make it to where Jason dies in the 70s. So he's probably born in the 60s. Early 60s or late 50s. Let's see what you guys have got. I know, it's weird though, because it's June 13th is Jason's birthday. What's happening, Russell? Welcome on in, man. Yeah, I mean, like they would, in the original one, they're singing Michael Row Your Boat Ashore, which says, you know, it says the word hallelujah or whatever, you know, like I feel like camps back then were pretty like, they leaned into the Christian thing, even if it wasn't like a Christian camp, you know. All right, let's see what else we got here. I'm Jason's daddy. I thought that was Elias Voorhees. Jason inherited his toxic masculinity from his father. Well, his mother is she gets pretty toxic, let me tell you. No one wants to talk about toxic femininity. You know why? Because those bitches will kill you, man. Oh, exactly, Tia. Yeah, you know what I mean, though, Ryan. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's the same difference. I mean, he's not going around eating people. At least that we know. What's happening, Teal Kit? Welcome on in, man. Welcome. Okay, let's go ahead and jump on over. Ooh, I just want to know if she has a psychotic break, and a split personality of Jason, or if Jason literally takes her over. Yeah, I think that's an interesting one, especially because like we see that like those coveralls or whatever she's wearing. It looks like she's kind of wearing a jumpsuit in that one shot where she's holding the machete. Yeah, it is like. I think that's a good question to have, Scareticulous. I like that. Yeah, because we know that there's an actor playing little Jason. We know there's an actor playing bigger Jason, but will it be like she really is split personality? I mean, she's split personality in the first movie. Like, there's no bones about that. Like, we know that from what we see, right? Something's going on where she's speaking for Jason in her own head, right? So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they made that part of the thing. Yeah, literally taking over, though. I like that. I like that question. That's a good thing to think about, and I hope they give us some surprises. You know what I mean? Of course, I hope the surprises land for me personally, but I hope that they, that it's not just so predictable, for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and jump on over to A Nightmare on Elm Street, guys. I know I'm missing out on some chats and everything. If I miss out on anything that you really want me to see, then you could always drop a super chat. I'm definitely not going to miss it that way. You could put it in the chat again. But I just want to move on over to Elm Street Reboot on the way. Oh my goodness. Let's bring it on over. Add that to the stage and go on over here. How about it? I'm very this is the one where, for all the Fred heads out there, I want to know, have you read all this yourself? Was it just a post that you saw that was very vague? Just kind of like my banner down there is pretty vague. You know what I mean? Like, I want to dive into this, take a deeper look, and then have a discussion with you guys about what we think this means and what we think some possibilities are. And of course, what you guys want to see from A Nightmare on Elm Street as it pertains to what is within this article. So let's check it out. This one comes to us by way of John Squires over at Bloody Disgusting, with a headline that reads, "Freddy's back. New A Nightmare on Elm Street movie in the works at Paramount." So there we go. It just dropped this morning. And it's been 16 years since Freddy Krueger was last seen in the A Nightmare on Elm Street reboot movie starring Jackie Earle Haley, with complicated rights issues playing a role in the franchise's complete and total silence over the past several years. Today, that silence ends. According to a new report from The Hollywood Reporter this afternoon, quote, Paramount Pictures has closed a deal for the U.S. rights to the original screenplay of A Nightmare on Elm Street. Paramount's genre label Paramount Primal is behind the upcoming franchise reboot. THR explains in further detail, quote, the U.S. rights are being licensed from the Craven estate, which includes Craven's widow and Craven's son. The duo will produce the new iteration with Mark Toberoff, the attorney turned producer who specializes in copyright law. JT Lifshitz, wow, what a friggin' name, and Rafael Margulis will executive produce for Paramount Primal. And let's see here. Aya Labunka, who is Craven's widow, says, quote, we look forward to bringing the world of Wes Craven's Nightmare on Elm Street to a new and completely engaged generation of fans. We know that Wes would have been thrilled to see how horror is taking its long overdue place in the cultural canon. We can't wait for all of us to sit together in a dark theater around the campfire of today as the next chapter of the nightmare story unfolds. And Lifshitz and Margules say, quote, we can't remember a time before we were fans of Wes Craven. The fact that Aya and Jonathan have entrusted us with this opportunity to help usher a new story into this world is an honor beyond words. We look forward to working alongside them to bring a terrifying new nightmare to audiences everywhere and to welcome Freddy home. So yeah, guys, you know, the series used to be with New Line Cinema and Warner Brothers, but the Craven State was able to regain those rights to the original screenplay. So New Line retains international rights to the franchise. So that's going to have to be figured out. So at some point, Paramount's going to have to walk up to New Line and be like, hey, we need to talk about this, because there's no way they're going to make a new Elm Street movie and only release it in the United States of America. Freddy Krueger's upcoming return is said to be, quote, set in the world of A Nightmare on Elm Street based on the original screenplay, end quote. No further details are available at this time. Will Robert Englund be returning one more time? Stay tuned for updates. I highly doubt it. I don't know why is that an image of him from the first movie? It's just really brightened up. Interesting. To me, this looks like it's probably one of the sequels. Anywho, there's a few things that we need to talk about here with this one. I will put this image of Freddy up on the screen as we chat. Okay, so yeah, they got the US rights. I think the big thing here, guys, it's the rights to the original script and only here in the United States. I think we're years away from a new Freddy movie. So I think, I don't know, maybe in 2029 we could get a movie. Maybe that's probably the soonest I could see it. You know, I mean, there are certain things about this that kind of bum me out, because I'm so happy that, yeah, we're going to get a new Nightmare on Elm Street movie at some point, or at least that's what we're being told right now. But to be limited to that first movie, that concerns me. We already got that reboot and it wasn't good. And they even tried some new things in that reboot, and those things didn't really work. So, you know, basing it on the original screenplay, I guess that means that we're going to get Nancy again and all that kind of stuff. And I just sort of wish that, like, for the conversation and for the fans and everything involved, I sort of wish there were a clean slate as far as the characters go. You know, Freddy, of course, is going to be Freddy. I kind of wish, and this could still happen. I mean, anything can change at any point. They could be like, yeah, we have the rights to that original script, but we're also just going to make our new, line of Final Girl characters and victims and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, A Nightmare on Elm Street's like third favorite on my big three list. But even me sitting here thinking about somebody replacing Heather Langenkamp as Nancy, it didn't work out last time. It would be really difficult again. I would like to see Heather return to the franchise in some sort of capacity still in the future. So I would advocate for Nancy to not be in the new iteration. I like Nancy being part of the Robert Freddy. And as the Robert Freddy goes and we usher in a new performer to play Freddy, I think we need a new character for him to be pitted up against. And we need to create a new new group of people for the audiences to root for, because we're going to get a new Freddy anyways, you know? And so my guy, guys, I want to show you this guy named Jared Bankins. I made a video about him. Man, maybe I'd only had the channel for about 4 months at that time. It was almost 3 years ago, but I saw him in the Twisted Metal TV show. He's in the first handful of episodes, and he played this character that just really seemed to enjoy causing, torturing and, just causing people problems. Like the worse he treated people, the more that he was kind of turned on by it. And Jared there's a few other things that he has going for him that I really like. He's got, here, I'll show you guys some pictures. I don't know if this will really resonate very well because it's so tiny there on the screen. Let me see if I can increase that size. There we go. Enhance. Okay, so this is him from the Twisted Metal show. And I was like, man, he's got like a lanky structure. He's gangly, so he's tall and he's thin. And I love the idea of tall and thin because I like the idea of Freddy he looks almost inhuman. Demon version of Freddy looks like he just a little, I don't know, not normal, just a little accentuated. I like that. Plus the character that he played in Twisted Metal just found that sadistic joy. I think Freddy's got sadistic joy all over the place. Here's another great shot there of Jared. It's all in the eyes. Like, I love the eyes. He freaky as hell. And another cool thing about Jared, I think he's approaching like 40 years old. So he's in that perfect spot where he could play Freddy for 20 years if you wanted him to, or 10 or 15, or if you just want to do 3 movies or whatever. So I think that's a really cool aspect of Jared. I do think he's, talented. Of course, I would never recommend somebody play a character for anything, especially not Freddy, if I didn't think they were talented to begin with. I think Jared's an excellent actor, and I love the fact that he's relatively unknown. He had a small part in the background of the Faces of Death movie. I think he's been on the Fallout TV show, if I remember correctly. And I like that idea of somebody that's not a household name. He's not Jamie Campbell Bowers. Even Caleb Landry Jones isn't a household name either, and I think he'd be good for the role. He might be a little too old at this point. I don't know. But I love the idea of Jared Bankins. And let me see, I think I've just got one more picture just in case you want to see him kind of smiling there. I like his look. I like his look quite a bit. And if you watch that first season of Twisted Metal, you would know what I'm talking about as far as what he can bring in the performance. And I think it would be so cool, no matter what they do with Freddy in this new reboot. I really, really hope that they find a way to make somebody a star, the same way that Robert was made a star by Freddy Krueger. Robert's so talented beyond all of that, but let's not quibble with words. Freddy made him a star, and we need somebody that's incredibly talented to step into the shoes of Freddy. It's a very difficult, demanding, nuanced, particular kind of character and role. It's got to land right with the fans. And I think a big part of landing right with the fans is that suspension of disbelief and not knowing too much about that person and not having seen them as Vecna, which is a very similar, all that kind of stuff. Like, again, Jamie Campbell Bowers would be amazing at the job, but we've seen him kind of do the same thing before. So anyways, I'm kind of rambling now. There's my pitch for Jared Bankins as Freddy Krueger in a new Nightmare on Elm Street movie. I think he'd be great. And then as far as like the rights go, guys, that is definitely something that's going to have to be figured out. So while they're writing their movie, and I hope before they go to camera, they have that conversation with New Line. New Line and Warner Brothers might be sold within the next year and a half. So that could complicate things. Like, they might want to try to get that figured out as soon as they can, or maybe they think it'll be easier once the New Line does get sold. It's very complicated stuff. Movies and the business side of show business can be very complex. I'm not going to pretend that I understand all the ins and outs of it, but I do know that a film could fall apart at any time unless they've shot the whole damn thing. And even then, we've seen movies put in the can and put away forever. So, never say never, but never, as Mike Tomlin would say. And I'll say here that I'm not going to hold my breath, but I am looking forward to seeing this news develop as things go on. And I hope we avoid the rights nightmare that we had with Friday the 13th. So let me know what you guys got in the live chat. If you're watching after the fact, jump on into the comments. Let me know your thoughts down there. And I'll see you next time. All right, guys, what do we got? What do we got as Davey just rants and raves? There are certain times where I'm like, oh my gosh, have I lost everyone? Have I lost every single person? I will be talking Evil Dead on Wednesday, Wesley. But I'm gonna try to not talk about it anymore tonight. But I'm putting together a panel for Wednesday night, guys. So I've already got some folks signed on. It's gonna be full spoiler talk. People that like the movie, people that loved the movie, people that didn't like it so much, and people who hated it. I want everyone's thoughts. Everyone's thoughts. Oh, I'm so happy I answered that question. I think it'll be 2029. That'll be 45 years. At least needs some new inventive nightmare-based kills and yeah, and hopefully they don't go to the people that made Evil Dead burn when they're looking for creativity. Please keep radio silence far away from Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't know if I would watch it. If Radio Silence did a Nightmare on Elm Street, I don't think it would have to be a really good trailer for me to want to go watch it. Yeah. What will Freddy be packing? Well, we better look like exactly the fucking same. Like that is one thing I will not like. It better look so close to how he looks in the original film. I'll be pissed if they do anything like any massive changes. I will be so let down. Yeah. Yeah, practical effects. You could always use digital to touch up some things and help out, but yeah. Yeah, this one is Dream Warriors for sure. Freddy's, that's what I thought. That first, I was like, man, why are they showing that? This low res, makeup didn't look too good. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. It was from Freddy's Dead. I didn't want to say it because you know what I mean when you're talking about Freddy's Dead. All right, let's see what we got here. With Robert Englund not able to play Freddy. Ooh, I'm glad I answered that one too. See, I got all the stuff. I love Dave McRae's, arguably my favorite YouTuber. I used to say he's my favorite, but now I feel bad if I say he's my favorite because I know so many people on YouTube. I don't want anyone to, feel like they're not picked, but I love Dave McRae's, his work, what he does on YouTube. And of course, the way he plays Freddy in Dylan's New Nightmare, I'd give him the job. Yeah. Hey, why the hell not? Again, turn somebody into a star through Freddy Krueger. And Dave has plenty of experience, in the industry. So Blake says, still got to watch your Evil Dead. All right. Hell yeah, man. Thank you so much for jumping on in, Blake. Appreciate it. Guys, if you haven't checked out Far From Blake, check out Blake's channel. I like what he does over there. I like Blake. Blake, we're going to work on something here at some point. But I love his whole demeanor and everything like that. So check him out. And I'm going to be recording some stuff on that news too, because even though I've got this, I feel like the pre-recorded thing could still be nice to have. All right, let's see here. They should make an in-between-quel. Yeah, and that's the thing too is, it does say it's based on the original script. That doesn't mean, like, I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, it's going to be a straight-up remake. That's totally possible. Like, based on the original screenplay means that, yeah, I mean, you could just straight up change a couple things, change some names, add some stuff, take out a couple things. But, based on the original screenplay sounds like if they just want to take, like, the Freddy character and everything that's in that screenplay, but then write something totally fresh just within the confines of that work, they could do that. So it's really difficult to tell. Like, I heard so many people, or I saw so many people online that are like, oh, it's just going to be a straight up remake. And that is not true. Not necessarily true. Do you know what I mean? Like the quote that we saw said that it's based on the original screenplay. So it's a little bit different. Again, we love nuance here, and we love keeping open the possibilities and not speaking like we definitively know everything. And when I say we, I mean me. You guys can say whatever you want, of course. But yeah, Robert Englund is 5'10". He never looked tall as Freddy, at least in the first film. No, he never did. And 5'10" isn't, I don't think 5'10" is like short, but yeah, he never looked tall. I just mean that I think he looks lanky, right? Like, look at this pose right here, this dancer's pose. Left arm is pretty slender. He's got like his hip popped out, one shoulder down. Like, he is in really good shape here. He's slender. So even though he's not tall, like, I get it. Like, Jared might be a little bit taller. Jared certainly is lankier, but I feel like you could still capture that essence of Freddy, Errol Shand, aka Dad Deadite and Evil Dead Burn, would make an excellent Freddy. I would love to never see that guy in a movie ever again. So taking out how I feel about his performance and everything in Evil Dead Burn, I think he's too old. Yeah, too old. Teal Kit says, I thought that was Richard Brake. Been a goat Freddy 30 years ago. Richard Brake could have been Freddy in 1996. Yeah. We keep on forgetting it, guys, but Richard Brake is almost 80 years old. Or I don't know. How old exactly is he? He's probably only in his late 60s. He just looks, he's only 61, but oh my gosh, the mileage, guys. If you told me Richard Brake was 80, I would believe it. Like, I absolutely would. I'm sorry, Richard. Like, you've just been through it, man. You've just been through it. Yeah, this guy was just so cringy in Evil Dead Burn. I thought he was terrible. I didn't even mention him by name in my review. Oh, yeah, perfect then. Yeah, if he can get his, because I don't know if he likes to drink a lot, Ben, but Caleb Landry Jones's head has grown like 2 sizes since X-Men First Class. So if he can get that figured out, you know. Yeah, he's got a similar look, yeah. Well, if Zach Krueger does A Nightmare on Elm Street, he'll bring him over. Yeah, because he's the lead in Resident Evil, yeah. He would be good. Glenn Howerton would be good. I think he's too old. Yeah, unfortunately, I think like when you're 50, you're too old for Freddy. Like, no shit. If you're... we need someone as close to 40 as possible. Preferably, I mean, Robert was like 37 when the first movie came out, I think. 36 when they shot it. I think he's too old, too, again. You know? Sorry, I know it's going to be boring for me to just shoot down everyone as being too old. But it's like the last time we saw Kiefer Sutherland in anything, what, 24? Was it like 30 years ago that they did that show? 25 years ago they did that show? So he doesn't look the same. Like, he's an old man now. Oh, let's see here. I did not know that. That's a really cool little piece of info. You mean there's like an alternate poster out there? Not at all gone still. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Okay, I'm going to catch up on everything here. We got Miss Liz Alou. How's it going? How's it going, Liz? Great to see you. I'm worried for a Nightmare on Elm Street remake, to be honest. Yeah, and hopefully it's like a reimagining. Like, I just want them to be like, hey, guys, all of the Wes stuff is in a capsule now. Wes's, you know, everything that spawned from Wes's original idea, we're going to put that in a capsule. Then we're going to take his original screenplay and we're going to build a brand new world based. We're going to use some of those ideas as seeds and we're going to make our whole new garden. The other garden is still going to be there. You can still, you know, eat those tasty veggies, but we're going to be over here making some different veggies with, you know, with our little group of seeds and blah, 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 and our different fertilizer. And I'm just kind of losing it now with the analogy, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I love McCrae. Love McCrae. Of course, man. Of course. Absolutely. Okay, let me see what else we got going on. Liz says, I wasn't really into A Nightmare on Elm Street. I found it a little over the top, which is why I'm like, I don't know about a remake. Well, and the remake from 2010 or whatever it was is really bad. I mean, I didn't enjoy it anyway. I know some people do, of course. I mean, that's the way movies are. But yeah, I mean, the original Nightmare, I really love. You know, the first movie, the third movie, the fourth movie, and Wes Craven's New Nightmare. That's kind of like those are the Nightmare movies that I, you know, care to revisit and enjoy and celebrate. Yeah. He was Billy. Yeah, my buddies made that movie. Before I even knew who the heck I knew who they were, but we weren't buddies then. But yeah, Miko is great in Dylan's New Nightmare. 5'9", there you go. Did they give him platforms for any of these movies, Lido? Do you know? Because, I mean, when it's all how you shoot, right? This shot that's on screen right now, he doesn't look short, you know, because he is slender. He's got that, you know, he went to that Bob Fosse school of posing, and he's a stage actor, so he knows how to, like, use his body and his face. And, I mean, Robert's just the real deal, you know, the kit and caboodle, as they say. Pobrecito. Sorry, Richard. I'm so sorry, dude. You just, right? Doesn't he, though? I'm not trying to be, like, mean about it. I'm just like, dude, he's 61, but he looks like, here, I'll bring up the image. Like, I mean, he's a great actor. Like, he is a great actor, but he looks really old. God bless him. He just looks so old. There he is. So I don't know when this picture was taken. So he's younger than 61 here, or at least younger than he is today. But yeah, Joker, that would have been fun too. I think he's great. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love Richard Brake as a performer. It's not a commentary on his ability at all. It's just a timing thing for sure. What Ryan meant was the look of the claw hand in New Nightmare was based on the look of the glove from the original poster. That's what I thought. Is it the poster that's yeah, it's like an alternate something. I'm pretty sure I've seen it. I just don't I'm trying to think of it in my head. I can't, you know, completely capture it here. Didn't use platform per se. Yeah. Yeah, dude, the way you shoot a movie, right? I mean, look at Robert there, 5'9" guy, thin, and then you look at somebody, the way they made Skylar White look in Sweet Revenge. You know, he's like, I think Skylar White's like 6'5", something like that. He's bigger. Vin from Never Hike Alone took a picture with Skylar White that played Jason in Sweet Revenge. Skylar White made Vin look relatively small, right? But if you watch the Never Hike Alone movies and you watch Sweet Revenge, you would absolutely think that Vin were bigger than Skylar because of the way the costume looks and the way it's shot. You know, it is incredible what you can do with a lens and a good costume designer and the right actor. I mean, that's why they call it movie magic. I will read all of the typos. Unintentionally just cook it. I know Richard Brake just like opened up YouTube on his phone and then he saw that my thing was on there and he's just got one solo tear running down his face now. He's like, and then you know what he did after that is he goes, fuck, 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 fuck. And he said the F word 50 times until Michael Myers came around and, you know, just cut his head off with a piece of glass. What can you do? You know, what can you do? The original VHS cover has the Freddy hand over Nancy. Yeah, it has the like the real glove though, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting. I guess I never even saw it as that. Let me look it up right now. A Nightmare on Elm Street poster. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. When it's like, is that? Oh my! I always thought. Why did I think? Man, I always thought that was like a skull that was like superimposed over the glove. Like I always thought those rivets or whatever, those are eyeballs. The thing down below between them is. I always thought it was just supposed to be a nightmarish image of a stylized version of Freddy's glove, but then a skull behind it. But I do see the tendons in the metal. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying, for sure. I really like the European poster that's like the orange and blue with the sleeping Nancy. I think that's a really sweet poster. I think it's a European one. Anywho, guys, do we want to? Is Shannon still here? Shannon, are you still here? Do you guys want a little Carrie news? What do you want? Feel like I'm really pessimistic when it comes to remakes of classic horror movies. Not sure if I really like any I've seen. I think there are some good ones out there, right? But yeah, it's not even a coin flip. You know, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 2003 is I think a really good remake. I think Friday the 13th from 2009, same director, really good as well. I haven't seen them yet, but I've heard the Hills Have Eyes remake is better than the original. I think the Zack Snyder 04 Dawn of the Dead is really good. Like I prefer George Romero's Dawn of the Dead, but Zack Snyder's movie it's so different. Like the one thing they took is there are zombies and the characters are in a mall. And then everything else like Zack, you know, and James Gunn wrote Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. You know, those two guys figured out the rest of the world. And we could see something like that with this Nightmare movie, right? You base it on the original screenplay. It's just based on the screenplay. That doesn't mean that they need to actually rewrite the screenplay, right? They're not beholden to that. They could, just like the Dawn of the Dead remake, they could just take Freddy and whatever elements of the story and characters that they want, and they could make up the rest. So if you make it different enough, then it, you know, I think the big thing here, Liz, that most of us want when we express those sorts of feelings, and I'm not telling you what you want, but I think of it this way. We, just as audience members, no matter if it's a remake or a new movie or whatever, you want the piece of art to justify its own existence. So you don't want it to be made just because, hey, we need another Nightmare on Elm Street, so let's just remake the original, you know? But it's like, man, if there are some people that are driven with purpose, they want to bring this thing back for the fans. And yeah, it's going to be great for their career, but it's important to them that they do it the right way. And I'm talking about producers, you know, writers, everyone involved from the ground up. Then it can be really, really cool. It can be really special, you know? And then I'll just point back to the 80s again. The Thing, The Fly, and The Blob from the 80s are three of the best remakes ever. So remakes can be really cool. But yeah, it should take a little more convincing than an original movie for sure. I like where you're going with that. I think he might be too old, but I think Edward Norton is great. Yeah. Yeah. Corey Feldman is Freddy. Oh my gosh. My uterus wants you to cover Carrie, please. Okay. Okay, let's jump in and talk about Carrie. I didn't even have a banner for this. I didn't even prepare for this. Let's see here. New. I'll do Flanagan's. Carrie releases images. Ooh. I don't know why I'm acting like it's salacious. Okay. Where the hell are those? All right, here we go. There it is. I'm gonna have a sip, guys. I need a sip. Oh yeah, nothing quite like coffee at about 9 p.m. at night. You know what I mean? This is how we get jacked up. Okay, here we go, guys. Carrie, first look. Let me start again because I'm burping mid-word. Good God, y'all. Carrie first look images preview Mike Flanagan's Stephen King series for Prime Video. And this one comes to us by way of John Squires over at Bloody Disgusting. There's a little tease of an image. Let's read up a little bit. And then, guys, there are a lot of pictures to scroll through, so we'll check them all out. The 8-episode limited series Carrie is headed to Prime Video later this year, a brand new adaptation of Stephen King's iconic story from horror master Mike Flanagan. Entertainment Weekly is previewing the upcoming series this morning with a handful of first look images that introduce us to Summer H. Howell's Carrie White and more. Mike Flanagan explains to Entertainment Weekly, quote, "The only way to approach it was to build something new out of the ingredients of Carrie." Oh my gosh, guys, it's like he was just listening to the stream. Otherwise, there's no real purpose in trying to retread ground that's been so beautifully walked before. Oh, wow. Mike, you're saying all the right things. We're fans of you over here on the Davey Deathray channel. He continues to say, quote, "The themes that Steve was talking about half a century ago of kindness versus cruelty, empathy and bullying and violence at school have become even more relevant today than he could have contemplated because of our relationship to technology and the degree to which violence encroaches on our high schoolers, especially in the United States. We had an opportunity to tell a story about a modern teenage experience that could use the seeds of these characters King created 50 years ago, but express them completely differently." Of a particular note, Mike Flanagan teases in his chat with Entertainment Weekly that the series will spotlight additional characters who have their own telekinetic abilities. Oh, shit. Okay. Are we going to be blending Carrie with Dr. Sleep? Is this going to turn into like a Stephen King horror X-Men kind of shared universe? That would be wild. And you know what? I'd be down. Anyways, the article continues. Each of the show's episodes will apparently Each of the show's episodes will apparently open with the introduction of, quote, "a different, unique story of a different woman somewhere else in the world and in time coming to terms with their own abilities." Interesting. Flanagan teases, quotes, "Carrie's specific place among that group of women is part of the real joy that we get to discover over the course of the season." Okay. The 8-episode limited series is expected to premiere on Prime Video this fall. And of course, we got the synopsis. If you guys know anything about Carrie, you don't need me to read about the synopsis. But yeah, Matthew Lillard is here. Amber Midthunder is here. Those are the only two names that I recommend or recognize. I guess I can't recommend the other people if I don't know who they are. Those are the only two names that I recognize from the cast of characters. But let's just scroll through these images here. We got our Carrie White there. Is she supposed to be, I mean, is Sissy Spacek like a redhead, or is she just like super strawberry blonde? But this is a good look for Carrie, I think, here. And it's taking place in the modern time, but I'm guessing they're going to explain the clothes as part of like the religious upbringing and everything like that. I don't know what it is. I don't want to offend anyone. Is it Methodists? Or do Methodists, is that like dressing nicely a popular thing or a thing in the Methodist church? For some reason, I grew up, where I grew up, there was a family and they were Methodists, and it was like dress up all the time, like nice clothes all the time. Here we go. We got a little social media taunting from the Entertainment Weekly first look. It looks like the girl in the green is not entirely sure that Carrie should be getting made fun of, but all the other girls are sort of like, we're game. You know, the teenage ladies can just be so mean, can't they? There's Carrie down in the shower, and yeah, we can see some blood on her white pants and everything. That's an unfortunate color to wear the day that you have your first, you know, cycle start there. You know what I mean? I love the shirt, though. I do love the shirt. She is like from the 70s, Carrie. It'll be, I'm sure they'll explain it the right way, because I think I saw one of these pictures where you see the mom and the mom's dressed similarly. Matthew Lillard looks great here. I'm like looking at the image. I'm like, did they clean up this image at all? His skin looks really good. He looks great. He's such a powerful performer. Like I like him in Scream and everything like that. I've seen him in, we've seen him in so many other things though that he excels in. So I love the idea of him playing a character that it sounds like, from what I've heard, it sounds like he's going to be going to bat for Carrie as best he can, with as little power as authority figures in the school system seem to have these days. And there we go. We've got Mom and Carrie, and yes, we can see that the boring drab clothes are all part of the family. There we go. We've got a couple side characters, a couple of the bitches, hopefully. Gotta have a good bitch in a horror movie. I mean, if you don't, it's too bad. Even Jason Takes Manhattan's got one. Probably the highlight. I believe this is Carrie here, putting a little, maybe getting her dress ready for the prom. This looks like a couple of other characters. Is that girl drinking a beer? Inappropriate. A lot of these images, they're, we're just seeing, I don't know if this is after some sort of, this looks like it's after, no joke, some sort of terrible school incident, right, during the day. Here we go. We got more side characters. I don't really know who these people are as it relates to the plot, so don't mind me if I'm just kind of scrolling through. We got Carrie's mom there. I actually don't mind this boring outfit. I think that's actually kind of styling. And there we go. We got, looks like Carrie in her dress that she made herself, which I think is actually pretty dang cute. Let's go ahead back up to this image here. I don't know, you guys that are the big, Carrie heads, I want to hear what you all have to say. I've never read the book. I've seen the Brian De Palma movie probably, 3 times in my life, something like that. So, I think it's a great story. I think the film adaptation is really good. And I just I've never read it myself. I've never really dove in. I didn't check out The Rage, Carrie 2. I didn't watch the remake when it came out with, what was it, Chloe Grace Moretz. So, yeah, I don't know. You guys that are the Carrie heads, how are you feeling? I mean, I love everything that Mike Flanagan's saying. I mean, he is absolutely saying the things that I want every creative mind to be thinking, and hopefully they are. And hopefully the more success that Flanagan has, like stuff just like the tides kind of go that way. But I'm very curious to know what you guys think. So if you're watching in the live chat, let me know what you think. If you're watching after the fact, jump on into the comments, give me your thoughts down there. And tell me if I should go and watch the remake of Carrie before the show launches. I'm guessing it's probably going to be September of this year. They're probably going to want to have this show well on its way by the time Crystal Lake is ready to launch, just so they're not worried about fighting with Jason Voorhees or Pamela Voorhees. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys next time around. Okay, jumping back in with you over here. Baddies in horror movies are my fave. Are you talking like baddies, like the hottie baddies? Or you mean like the villains? The girl in green is Sue. You can tell because she's reluctant to bully her. Well, we don't know for sure, right, Bill? I mean, I don't know. Maybe the IMDb will like break all that down. I don't know any of the performers other than Matthew Lillard. And I don't even know, was that Amber Midthunder? Like, I know who she is, but I don't like really know her by her look, Those damn bishies. Seventh-day Adventists. Okay. Thank you. And so I didn't know if because I know certain groups of like in Protestantism, in I don't know what you want, non-Catholic Christianity. I know there are those groups that they've got those. Every group's got its own little kind of nuanced rules that sort of separate them from the others. Yeah. Let's see here. What else do we got? Sean G. What's happening, G? Welcome on in, man. Welcome, welcome. Great to see you. We have 4 Carrie movies? 4? I thought there were just 3. Did they do another one? Like, did they, what am I missing? I'm missing one of these, right? Love Carrie. I've seen all the remakes, rewatched the sequel today. All right. What do you think? So Tia, what do you think about this whole thing where it's like, this whole show is going to be about women with superpowers? It's kind of like, is that really? Did I read that right in the article that the show is going to open up with a different young woman with a superpower to start each episode? I don't know. When I read that, I think, oh no, this show's in trouble. Honestly, like you could probably tell as I was reading it, I was slowing down because I was like, oh no. Sure. We need another property that just excludes half of the population. That's what we need. Oh, there was a mini series. Okay. All right. I mean, the hand jumping out of the grave, that's what inspired Jason jumping out of the lake in Friday the 13th. It's crazy. It's crazy. The baddies who survived the villains and kicked their ass, of course. Yes. We love a good final girl, final guy. I don't even care. Just give me someone to root for and have them kick some ass. And if there's a guy and a girl and they've got like some chemistry, I like that even more, especially in like if it's going to be like slasher. Southern Baptist. Okay. Started out Southern Baptist. Okay. Started their own religion because the Baptists were too liberal. So it's like what they do in The Witch, where like in the beginning of The Witch, the family gets kicked out because the dad's like too pious. Like, whoa, dude, like you're making all the other Christian people look like bad at being Christians. So you're going to have to scoot. You're going to have to scoot. The powers come from their fallopian tubes. Yeah, I think it's going to be a problem for the show. I see that on the forefront, and I don't understand why the creatives don't ever think about this stuff, but I guess the controversy kind of helps. And then all they have to do if it's not successful or not as successful as they want it to be, they can just blame the people that didn't watch it. We see that all the time. It's really weird, guys. It's really weird. I mean, we saw it with Supergirl. Like, men were like 60% of the audience, 59% of the audience was Supergirl, but guys were being blamed for the movie not doing well. And then I shit you not, I'm sure I'm going to piss off some people by saying this. I shit you not, or I would not doubt if 95% of those tickets were purchased by men. You know, of the whole Supergirl thing. You know, I would imagine men probably buy at least 90% of movie tickets. I don't know. So yeah, stop blaming people for not liking your stuff. Just make good stuff. And I'm not saying it's going to be bad. I'm just saying that even like once this hits, like once, channels are talking about this, like not my channel, but channels that people actually like freak out about, or, that reach a huge audience. Like I know about those Doom tubers, and they are going to read that line about each episode opening up with a different girl discovering a superpower. And you know exactly how they're going to react to that kind of stuff. So I'm not here to react that way. I'm just here to be like, oh no, I know that's coming. And it's going to make it more difficult for the show to do what it wants to do. Because the show, the people that have made the show have put themselves in this sort of spot. Where it didn't have to be just exclusively women getting superpowers. But whatever. Russell, have a great night, buddy. Thank you so much for jumping in. Thank you so much for being a channel member, man. Really do appreciate you. I mean, it's just like, yeah, it's just one of those, like, I know there are groups of like, women that go see movies together and all that stuff. And I'm not saying that women don't buy their own tickets. I'm just saying in general, when kids are being bought movie tickets and when couples are going on dates and stuff like that, like it's usually the guy, and the guy is probably usually picking the movie. I just mean for the most part, right? Women like a guy that leads. I think it's kind of rare when a horror movie can capture actual romance and sexual tension. I feel like some movies force it and you feel that disconnect. And then sometimes, Liz, they've just like removed it from movies lately. There's like none. Or we see the head bump, like the forehead on forehead thing. Like, oh my God, like what happened to kissing in movies? Where the hell is it? Like, it was refreshing in like or Masters of the Universe to see a man and a woman kiss. I was like, oh my God, I'm seeing a man and a woman kiss in a Hollywood movie. But I totally know what you mean. Like, it should never be forced. I actually think like one of the movies I really like it in, Liz, I'm not sure if you've ever seen Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives from 1986, celebrating 40 years on October 1st. It has some of the best romance sexual tension between Tommy Jarvis and Megan Garris. It's really like I would watch so many movies of those two characters like giving each other shit and fighting monsters. Like, if you haven't seen Jason Lives, oh my gosh, it is such a riot. It's my favorite Friday the 13th movie, and it's a really great example of how you have fun romance and keep focused on the right things, for sure. Well, it'll still be what they're doing is they want to set up a show about all of the other characters. So they want to keep Carrie going, and maybe she becomes like the leader of the X-Women or at whatever point, but they want to make a show about all those other girls that'll, be, it seriously sounds like they're setting up a Stephen King X-Men. Like, it really does. And even like, I was kind of joking about Dr. Sleep, but Flanagan made Dr. Sleep. So, based on another King property, and seemingly he has a great relationship with Stephen King. I mean, I would imagine they're pretty tight by now and understand each other and everything like that. So yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to what the show will be like and everything like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm right there with you too, Lito. And it's not, neither one of us are saying here that like we hate it. It's just like, I know what's coming when this sort of stuff happens, and it's just kind of easy to avoid it. Like, why wouldn't the phenomenon be happening to young boys as well? Is kind of, interesting. Holy cow, we got Wesley signing up as a brand new YouTube channel member. Wesley, thank you so very much, man. And this guy really enjoys the atmosphere at the channel and you guys in the chat and everything, because Wesley you can see his icon right there. He's got Alice from Evil Dead Burn. Wesley really enjoyed the movie. We've have a little back and forth on Twitter. I know Wesley that you've seen what I've had to say on Twitter and been so respectful and so awesome about it. And yeah, dude, I appreciate your fandom for a franchise that clearly we both love quite a bit. So I love when fans don't have to see eye to eye on the opinion and can still be family as far as being horror fans. So I really do appreciate it, man. The fact that you're becoming a channel member, especially after some of the stuff I've said on Twitter, because I know it probably seems like I'm unhinged on Twitter, but really, here's what it is about Twitter, guys. No one gives a shit about anything I've ever said on Twitter. So with Evil Dead Burn, I've just been going all over the place. And because there have been people on Twitter that are like, they say some very hyperbolic things about how great it is or specific aspects, and so there's certain times when I'm like, oh yeah, Daddy Deadite's great when he's like waiting the whole movie and doesn't do anything. Me on my keyboard trying to be tough. I know I'm not tough, guys. I'm well aware of it, but I do appreciate you, Wesley. Thank you so much for becoming a channel member, man. Like the I didn't even watch Twisters. They have a non-kiss, dude. The head bump has got to go. It's got to go, and it's like she's showing no sign of bullying. Oh no, I mean, it seems like she's getting bullied quite a bit. We can't really see that in the still images. Yeah, part 6 is the shit. Liz, you weren't here earlier, but I showed off my mask. I have 9 signatures on my mask now after this weekend. It was amazing. What a weekend. Definitely worth rewatching, I would say. I think for most people, it's usually top 3. Holy cow, we got Brian Claudio in the house. What's happening, Brian? I just want to see Flanagan's Exorcist movie. Hey, it'll be here in April, right? I think it'll be here in April. Okay, guys, holy cow, we're coming in on 2 hours. I do want to talk about Sam Neill, but I do got to head out. So I know if some of you have already put there in the chat, RIP Sam Neill and everything like that. I've never cared on Twitter, but with Evil Dead Burn, I'm like, you know what? Like, I know this franchise like the back of my hand. I can tell with the online discourse that a lot of people don't understand it as well as I do, and that's fine. I'm not requiring that anyone be as nerdy as I am. And I'm sure there's an Evil Dead fan that could out-knowledge me. Absolutely. I just like to be a total chode about it and call myself the Evil Dead guy on YouTube because a couple of you guys have said it, so I feel like I can. But yeah, I mean, it's been fun over there on Twitter, just being... I mean, people are saying wild things, Liz. It's gotten that point where it is the whole like, oh, guys don't like it because... And I'm just like, no, the last 3 movies have been female-centric in Evil Dead, and guys have enjoyed plenty of everything Evil Dead's had to offer. It's like people have it's so funny because it's like when people have actual gripes, we should listen to the actual gripes. But the way discourse is, I'm sure you know this, Liz, is like now everyone's either just in this group or that group. And then it gets to the point where like an opinion on a movie gets politicized, where it's like, oh, Republicans like this movie, Democrats don't, or like it becomes so arbitrary where it's like, whoa, what do the two things really have to do with one another? Like, oh, have we lost the plot that much where it's like, oh, Snyder bros are conservatives, and it's like, what? They just liked the they liked the movies that were made. What happened? What happened, everyone? All right, let's talk Sam Neill. Yeah, was he... I didn't even know if he was ill or anything like that. I mean, my experience with Sam Neill as a performer, Jurassic Park is the beginning of it all. And I know he contributed to film and everything like that before then, but, In the Mouth of Madness, I think, was like right around that time as well. But Jurassic Park, being the age that I was at, when it came out, like 93, I was like 11 years old when it came out. It was a perfect age, to last gasp for being interested in dinosaurs, and I was a huge Jaws fan, even back then. So to me, it really did feel like a spiritual sequel to Jaws, with Spielberg doing it. And, it's similar, not a similar setup really per se, but just a creature feature with awesome quote unquote monster animals, and Sam Neill's fantastic. Without a good Dr. Grant there, Dr. Grant not only makes you buy into the world, but he gives you like, he comes at it from the right place. His heart's in the right place. He's really sweet. He's smart. He's insightful. He's resourceful. He's caring. He's adaptable. It's so funny as I'm saying this, and the conversation we just finished, I'm like, he is like no male character they would ever put in a movie nowadays. It's crazy. Like, as I'm describing Dr. Grant from Jurassic Park, I'm like, well, they wouldn't do that. It's weird. Anywho, In the Mouth of Madness is great. Event Horizon is friggin' incredible. I mean, he was this close to being James Bond, I think more than once it happened. And I think he would have made an incredible Bond. I would have loved him a lot more than Pierce Brosnan. I'll say that. Like, I'm not the biggest Pierce guy. And I think Sam has got an element of danger. He's not as pretty as Pierce, that's for sure. But there's something like just, the one squinty eye that Sam Neill would have. There's just this element of like anything could kind of happen that I like that he brings. And, we feel that in Event Horizon. Of course, we get it all over the place in Event Horizon, but we even get it in the Mouth of Madness, where he plays. There's so much nuance and subtlety in that performance as well. Sam Neill. What I need to do really is dive into his later catalog, because there's a lot of stuff that's come out just in general. There's a lot of movies in the last like 25 years that I missed out on, and I know that he's been in some bangers, so I gotta catch up on all of that too. Let me jump in and see what you guys are saying here. He was in The Omen 3, I believe. He plays presidential candidate Damien, who was no doubt a Snyder bro. Oh my goodness, what's happening, Asha? Welcome on in, one of our great channel members. Yeah, I've only seen have I only seen the first out of the original Omen series, I think I've only seen the first one. And then I watched the movie called The First Omen. It's not the First Omen movie, but it's called The First Omen. It's very confusing. It's very confusing. Possession, Manny's Manic Media jumping in with that one. Welcome on in. Yeah, somebody was saying in the members chat earlier, or member stream earlier, that Possession's one of them. I've not ever seen Possession. So I know it's a classic, at least for the woman freaking out in the tunnel. So I'll have to check it out. Okay, Mr. McGregor and Peter Rabbit 2018. All right, so he's done some of that voice work as well. Swift of Horror 365. What's happening? Says, what's up, everyone? How are you, Deathray? I'm doing pretty all right. We're just rounding out the stream here. But we've talked about, did Mad Monster recap. We talked about the Crystal Lake series and we watched that trailer together, the teaser. We talked a whole bunch of Nightmare on Elm Street and we talked a little bit of Carrie as well. So it's been pretty all right. Yeah, that's the one with that's the New Zealand flick, right? Or the kid from Deadpool and all that, or Deadpool 2 is in it. I heard that movie was amazing when it came out. I remember seeing the trailer and thinking it looked really good. He was in Escape Plan and the last 2 Thor movies. He was in the last 2 Thor movies? Wait. I mean, who is he in Ragnarok? He's in Ragnarok? I missed Ragnarok. Or, I mean, I've only seen it once. I missed the other one after it, Love and Thunder. But Sam Neill's in both of those? The original Omen's really good. I love Richard Donner movies, Liz. Like he did the first 2 Superman movies from the 70s. He did Lethal Weapon, The Goonies, Omen. Oh, he's done so many. I know I'm forgetting a whole bunch, but all over the place with his genre of film too. Really, really capable. The first Omen's good. Yeah, it is a good one. The prequel. It didn't like blow me away, but it's good. It's totally worth watching if you like that kind of movie. Yeah. I think, yeah, without having seen Possession, I would say from what I've seen, I think In the Mouth of Madness is the best performance as far as like difficulty and how well he executes it. I mean, I think Event Horizon is like, I was saying earlier in the members only stream, no shade against The Shining. Okay. I like Event Horizon more. I think of Event Horizon as kind of like The Shining in space. You know, it's got a little bit of that 2001, but it's definitely got the Shining elements as well. They're very obvious, you know, the similarities and everything. There's something about Event Horizon that just grabs me a bit more. I don't know if it's like, you know, the way it looks, or if it's just something like the Sam Neill performance. I mean, Lawrence Fishburne's great in it as well. It's just a solid movie and super disturbing. Pandorum film should have been the sequel to Event Horizon. Well, they haven't done sequels, but they did comic books that are prequels. Maybe they did a sequel in comics. He plays Odin in the play. Oh my God. How did I just totally miss that? Sam Neill, Thor Ragnarok. Oh my God. Yeah. He just looks so different. You know, like he's always had kind of a round face, right? But when he got older and he grew that white beard, it just like in the Hunt for the Wilderness People or whatever that's called, he looks so different there. But yeah, as Odin, oh my gosh, I would have never have guessed. If you showed me that picture, it would have taken forever for me to guess that. That's wild. That is wild. It's Liz. You've probably seen the GIF out there where it's like a woman in a like very dark blue or like violet kind of, I believe it's a dress or something. And she's just spinning around, just having a fit, just throwing a fit, like in a stone like tunnel or something. I don't know if it's like a subway tunnel or whatever, but it's just this very famous scene in horror. And it's the only thing I know about Possession other than the movies getting remade. I remember them being there. Yeah. Event Horizon's great. Gotcha. Okay. Well, Sam is Australian, right? And Taika Waititi is New Zealand, and I believe the other kid's New Zealand. Is Sam New Zealand though, or is he? Is he Aussie? Maybe he is Kiwi, as they would say. Let's see. No, Australia. Okay. I was like, I'm pretty sure he's Australia, but then, or, you know, Australian. But then as we're talking about the other stuff, I'm like, yeah, because I think Taika is New Zealander. And the kid from Deadpool too. Have a great night, Liz. Yeah, we're gonna jump out of here pretty quick here. Manny's Manic Media becoming a channel member yet again. Thank you so much, Manny. Really do appreciate you. I know, I gotta see it. I do gotta see it. Yep. Can't let that remake news, you know, squander my hopes for a good possession experience. Kind of a remake, yeah. I mean, they took the name and a couple of the ideas, yeah, for sure. I think I need to watch Event Horizon again. I don't remember loving it the first time. I mean, it is a bleak, dark movie for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's not like The Shining isn't, but yeah, I just love how dirty it is. You know, Paul W.S. Anderson doesn't make many movies I enjoy. Like, I don't, you know, 2 of his Resident Evil movies I like. I dig Apocalypse and Extinction. I like those. But, you know, a lot of his stuff just doesn't really grab me. And I feel like Event Horizon's one of his first movies. And I just think he got something special there and executed really well. All right, guys, that is going to wrap it up for this one, I believe. Let's see here. Yeah, we're just after 2 hours. You guys are amazing. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to roll through the super chats because, guys, if you donated, or if you not donated, but if you sent in a super chat, you're going to be entered into a raffle to win one of these Fandango giveaways. And now each one of these will allow you to get 2 tickets to Evil Dead Burn. Now you have to go see Evil Dead Burn, but you know, you might enjoy it. I mean, if you told me I could go see it again for free, I'd go if the company were good. How about that? As I visibly wince. Thank you so much to Paula for the $5 here and kicking off that super chat goal. Daniel throwing down a $5. Thank you, sir. Shannon from Talking Star Wars with $2 Canadian. Rebel Sky with a $2. Tia Nina dropped a $5. Shannon dropping a Canadian $5 and another Canadian $5. Antonis Andriotis with a $5 super chat. And Ryan West with a $5 as well. You guys are amazing. Everybody that donated $5 is going to get 2 entries into the, 2 entries per those 5, and then the $2 ones are going to get you an entry, and I'll let you guys know who the winners are, and I will reach out and we'll have that conversation. Guys, Wesley became a channel member. Thank you so very much, Wes. Really do appreciate you. And Manny's Manic Media. Boom. There it is. And now that I'm seeing, I'm like, wait, is this Wes? Wait, this isn't Wes from Juneau, Alaska, is it? I'm like, now I'm questioning it. Now I'm questioning it. Oh my goodness. If it is, Wes, reach out to me. I'd love to chat offline and just catch up with you a little bit, brother. All right, guys. Yeah, dude, after the convention, me too. Me too, man. It's totally freaking crazy. Davey, love chilling with you and your channel, man. It's been amazing, and I love everything you talked about tonight. Can't wait for the next stream, but need to get something finished, then sleep. Yes, yeah, I'm going to head out as well. Thank you so much for jumping on in, becoming a channel member, Daniel. I really do appreciate you, man, and I think you're going to have a blast. The people here, the people in the community are incredible, and it's a good place to be to talk a little bit of horror. Man, Ice Cream Man for me. So it's for the Fandango app, Paula. So I think then you can use the Fandango app to get the tickets wherever. But there's instructions here, so you just have to follow the instructions. But I'll let you know if you win, and then we will talk about it then. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up for me tonight. I'll be back on Wednesday for Late Night with the Davey. We're going to talk Evil Dead Burn, all the spoilers. So save everything you got, jump on in. And actually, you know what? I might make a post on the page for you guys to put your opinions so I can bring those up during the stream. So if you've got something to say about Evil Dead Burn, good, bad, in the middle, whatever you got, look out, because I'll make a post on the community side of the channel, and you can drop your own thoughts in there, and then we'll share them on the stream. How about that? All right, guys, thank you so very much. You all are beautiful. I love you guys so damn much. Shout out to the Patreon members, YouTube channel members, and our amazing group of Death Squad mods. You guys are incredible. I will see you next time. And speaking of next time, until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.